Good morning. Good morning, and we're delighted to be here today at the Long Island MacArthur Airport. My name is Mark Schroeder. I am the Commissioner of the Department of Motor Vehicles. I was in the private sector for about 25 years. I was an elected official, including the New York State Assembly, for 7 years. I was a Buffalo City Controller for 7 years. And now I've been the Commissioner of DMV since 2019, and delighted to be here. Also on behalf of our Governor, Governor Kathy Hochul, many of you know she is the first woman governor from New York State. Some of you might know she is the second governor from Buffalo, New York, since 1883. But what you may not know that I want you to know is she is the only governor in New York State history who actually has run a DMV. Many years ago when she was county clerk of Erie County, she ran the DMV, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing for me. It's a good thing for the 15.4 million New Yorkers who have a license in their pocket or their purse or soon to be on their phone. So I'm joined today by Angie Carpenter. She is the Islip Town Supervisor. She has been dedicated to environmental protection, and it's a pleasure, and I'm proud to stand with her here today. Also, we have Shelley LaRose Arkin. She is the Commissioner of Aviation, and I would say you are a pioneer because I know you have 30 years experience or more, and so thank you so much for your professionalism. So I just want to also congratulate all of you. This is a beautiful airport. This is the first time that I've been here, and if I lived in Suffolk or Nassau or Queens or anywhere around, I would come here to go to Florida, right? So I also want to introduce our motor vehicle representatives who go to all of the airports, especially in metropolitan New York. They are right here to my left, and they are from the different district offices that we run in Long Island. They often come to the airports at 5:30 in the morning to give information to customers here so that they know that we want them to be Real ID compliant. We also have Robert Duffy. He is the Federal Security Director for TSA. He has become a friend because I've seen him now 3 or 4 times at the different airports that he has responsibility for. Plus, we were at the Fiorella LaGuardia Airport yesterday, so it's good to see you, Director Duffy. So I'm a history amateur historian. And so I know that this airport dates back to 1942, just 4 months after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and the town of Islip contracted with the federal government to build an airfield for military use. So originally, I believe that this airport was called the Islip Airport, but then it was renamed for General Douglas MacArthur, who was a great general, not only in World War II, but other wars as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Director Duffy. We've had some news flashes from yesterday that we're going to start with, and then I want to give an overview on how we're doing at DMV. Director Duffy.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning to everybody, and welcome to Long Island MacArthur Airport. As of yesterday, the original date for the compliance with Real ID has changed. It's now been pushed back to May 7th of 2025. So the original date of May 3rd of 23 has been pushed back, so 2 more years to get into compliance with this. So anybody that was going to have a license or an ID that expires after May of 2023, you have 2 more years to fall into compliance now. And we look forward to having you at the DMV offices to get those updates taken care of. Now, the importance of Real ID is that we need to fall into compliance with a recommendation that was made by the 9/11 Commission. So that's where this all came from. The genesis of this goes back to that commission that was enacted after the tragic events of the terrorist acts of September 11th of 2001. And in 2005, when they submitted their report, one of their recommendations was to have a system set up across the country in the U.S. territories in which we could verify who everybody is getting onto any kind of a commercial airliner, both domestic or international flights, and that the documents that they were using were valid. And so that's where Real ID comes in. So we need to know that the people getting on these flights coming out of ISP here that they are who they say they are, and that the IDs that they're using at our security screening checkpoint are valid IDs. So that's why this is important for everybody to get on board before the now May 7th, 2025 deadline. Because if you don't have a proper real ID at that time, we cannot accept it when you show up to screening at any airport, even for domestic flights. So you're going to need to have an update, or you're going to have another acceptable form of ID, such as a passport, which is a little bit more cumbersome to have, and not everybody carries them. So, but otherwise, real ID compliance, that's what we're pushing for. The DMV's done a fabulous job. They're here every morning, as the commissioner said, at ISP, doing a great job getting people signed up for it. We appreciate the partnership. It's been fabulous with the DMV. And so with that, I'd like to turn it back over to you, Commissioner. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Director. So I just want to continue and thank the media outlets and the town communications department for being here today. This is an important story. And to the viewing audience, those living in metropolitan New York and in Long Island. What I'd like to do is I'd like to say to those who are sitting on their couch, I want you to show me your license. So if you live on Merritt Street in West Islip, 11795. I have a bionic eye. I'm seeing you right now. So I'm asking you to pull out your license. And if your license doesn't have a star or a flag on it, I'm asking you to pay special attention to what we have to say today. If you have a passport that's valid, that's a good thing, and that will help you do exactly what Director Duffy was talking about in terms of flying, out of this beautiful airport to go visit Grandma in Fort Lauderdale. So if you want a real ID or an enhanced driver's license, I want to give you a little bit of information to how you would go about that. The good news is that those documents, real ID, enhanced driver's license, they are available now. You can go into any DMV office. We have representatives here who represent us at the 8 district offices in Long Island. We also have 12 district offices in the city of New York, and we have offices in the Lower Hudson. So we would encourage the viewership to go into a DMV because it is required. A lot of people are trying to do all of their transactions online, and we encourage that. But this is one that you have to go into a DMV office. We also offer what is called an enhanced driver's license. It gives you the same privilege of flying from here to Fort Lauderdale. But what it also does is that if you happen to be visiting me in Buffalo and you want to go over the Peace Bridge over to Canada, you can use your enhanced driver's license. There's a lot of people who are old school like me that you like to keep your passport in a lockbox and only use it when you're traveling maybe to Europe. So the enhanced driver's license gives you that ability not only to fly domestically also, but to cross borders, particularly in Canada. So I would encourage also the viewers to use our website. It's very important. We have a tremendous document guide. And if you go on the DMV website and look at the document guide, it will guide you through everything that you need to bring so that you can do what we call one and done. We want you to come into the DMV office and we want you to be able to get your real ID or your enhanced driver's license the first time. And so we also have the ability, we have very smart MVRs who know how to upload and download documents that the customer might have so that they can reassure them that you have everything you need. Now you come in with the originals and you're going to be just fine, and we're going to get you in and out of here in 20 minutes, and you're going to have your real ID or your enhanced driver's license. And that's the truth. Because when I first became the commissioner 4 years ago, and I would go to the Midtown DO, and there were people in there for 2.5 hours waiting to go to the counter, that does not happen anymore. So I want to encourage you to please come in and to get your real ID or your enhanced driver's license. So at this moment in time, I'd like to introduce the supervisor from the town of Islip, Angie Carpenter, to come up and say hello.
Okay. Thank you so much, Commissioner. And you know what? It really is a kinder, gentler DMV. So I thank you for your efforts the past 4 years, because it isn't a nightmare now going to the Department of Motor Vehicles, so now I know why. So we thank you for that. And I did get my enhanced driver's license, and yes, there are a lot of documents that you need, but as the commissioner said, if you go online and you're informed and you know what you need ahead of time and you go in there with it, you literally are in and out of there. You've got to time it right. You know when the busy times are, so don't go when you know it's going to be busy. But here at Long Island MacArthur Airport, we pride ourselves on our stress-free experience, and having your real ID is going to help you there. Our TSA lines are short. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the wonderful partnership we have with TSA. Joe Modica is here, and all of the people at the TSA. And I have to say this, I really am not wanting to knock our other airports. However, people talk about the experience here at Islip Airport, that the TSA agents are just so friendly. They say hello, they talk to you, they're not grumpy. So we thank you for that. It's really made it the very prideful customer experience that we have here. So we don't want to see people ready to board their flights and not have their necessary ID. And it was wonderful that the deadline was extended, so it's an early holiday gift that we're giving to everybody, or that they're giving to everyone. But don't wait. Don't wait until that last minute when everybody's going to be scrambling to get their ID. You're coming to the airport excited, you want to, get on that plane, and you don't want to be turned away because you don't have the proper identification. So it may sound like it's a long way off, 2 years plus, but it'll be here before you know it. So make sure you have your real ID as quickly as possible. So anyway, I want to thank our Commissioner, Shelley Rose Arkin, who is here today, and her team. They're here to help you have that wonderful experience, and the partners with TSA help make that happen. And now the Commissioner of Motor Vehicles is here. We're very, very blessed, and we thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Supervisor. I wanted to mention that from the Communications Department of DMV, we have Tim O'Brien, and he is a graduate of West Islip High School. Is that right?
My hometown.
All right, okay, all right. So we have family members here, right? So I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to reiterate what the supervisor said. It is most important to come in as soon as possible. That's the reason why we're really doing this across New York State. This is my 12th airport. I'm going to Buffalo next week to reach out to the viewership to encourage them to come in, because 2 years will go by fast. And so we're interested. And also, it's important to pay attention to the document guide, especially if you're a woman with a name change. There are certain documents that you need to bring in. So we would encourage you to know what they are so that you can do it, so that we can do one and done, right? So thank you very much. If there are any questions from anybody, I'm happy to answer them.